I grew up in Ghana, where the education was more narrow, and then went to college in the United States. And the college I went to used this approach of broad learning. And I majored in engineering and economics and went to work at Microsoft. And I think that an engineer that is educated to have a broad perspective has a lot more to draw on in terms of creativity and innovation. And so this was certainly one reason I did it. The second reason is that when you do a broad curriculum, especially one that looks at philosophy and leadership and ethical philosophy, that is a really powerful way of shaping ethical thinking. And through the debate, the interaction, through the discussion of different ideas that have come through history to today. And so we felt, my team and I felt, that this approach would be an ideal way to educate future leaders and future citizens for Africa. So Ashesi University implements broad learning, and we also implement an approach of practical project-based learning. So for example, when students first come to Ashesi, the first year, they take a design course. This is about learning design thinking. And it's a combination of analytical thought and creative thought and doing simple projects. And this is a way of switching them on. As they go through the program, they'll be designing other things. They might be designing a business. They might be designing a robot. They might be designing a piece of software or a website. The third thing we do is outside of the classroom, having students go and work in industry. So they're grappling with real world problems, which tend to be interdisciplinary. And we also ask students to engage in community service. So they go out into the community, typically to impoverished parts of the country, and they look at real pressing issues and think through how they solve those problems and execute and then write reflective papers on their experience doing that. The work that we do with career development and getting students placed in internships, getting students placed in jobs that will be rewarding careers, that is very important. And there are actually jobs in Africa for university-educated students. The problem is that a lot of universities are not teaching students to deal with ambiguity. They're not teaching them to communicate effectively. They're not teaching them to be analytical. And so you have companies that then in Africa that then hire expatriates for some of those kinds of positions that could go to Africans. And then you have, students then starting to look elsewhere for opportunities, different kind of opportunities. So the quality of the education, the work to make sure that students are placed effectively in good jobs, that is really very important to keeping people on the continent.